Oh, wrong one. There it is. How you doing, guys? How's everybody? Oh man, I'll tell you, I lost my concentration here tonight as the countdown was playing. I got Art Carlson in the green room, and you couldn't see him, but I'm watching him, and he's dancing to the music like this, and it was all I could do to keep from making him live instantly and catching him at it. But I didn't want to screw up my intro, so I didn't. And the next thing I see is Ken, his Ken doll, comes marching across the screen. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. There it is. Oh, that was funny, Art. And then I looked up and the countdown is almost to zero, and I go, holy shit, what button do I push? I'm looking for the buttons. Oh man, that's funny. Anyway, thanks for cheering me up.
Hey,
Been in a pretty down mood most of the day for some reason. You know, with all this crap going on and everything. Wow.
Well, I made some improvements with my room here.
Well, it looks like the same room you had yesterday.
Yeah, but you don't see that shadow anymore.
Oh, I didn't notice that. I didn't
Yeah,
notice that.
up in that corner, what I did is I put a piece of construction paper to hold the green screen out because it was
Oh, okay.
kind of folded, and that's why that corner you see some white up there. And then down in this corner, you would see a shadow. Well, I've got another light turned on. That's why my face is more lit up today. And I took care of that. That other light was shining through there. I put some construction paper. I duct taped it to the wall, and it goes right up to the green screen. And there's only a little piece of where light's getting through there.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's
Hmm.
cool. Yeah, it looks good. Looks good. In fact, you know, I just for fun today I said, you know, I need to go out and get myself a picture of some friggin' palace interior, you know,
There,
and outdo you. I'm talking, you know, King Henry VIII type stuff. You know what
there
I
you
mean?
go.
Yeah.
Or one of those uh, lodges that has the wood paneling with all the books and
Oh
big
yeah.
uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
pictures and a smoking chair, and you're sitting there with your cigar and have your little cigar smoking jacket on and go, hello, welcome to my show.
Yeah.
I
Speaking of
am
welcome to my show, let me say hi to
an
everybody in the
old
chat.
guy in a drone.
And I want to start at the top here, and I want to say hi to Jody. Jody's always the first one in.
Yeah.
About half hour before the show starts, he'll put he'll say hello to me in the chat, because you know, once you post these videos, even though you're not live yet, once you post them, of course the chat becomes open, and
Yep.
anybody can go in advance and put something in the chat, and he does. And Chris Hope came in right as Mel was shutting down, and I was watching Mel's show, but I particularly
Same
stayed
here.
out of the chat because I was busy setting up for this thing, and I didn't want to. Figured if I started, I said hi, but I figured if I started chatting and then I missed somebody saying hello to me, that wouldn't be nice. So anyway, Chris Hope is in the house. Rick Halber, how you doing, Rick? Good to see you. And there's some guy named Artco and Rick Halber again, and Drone Shots and Rick Above Jim is here, Above and Beyond Drones, and Arizona Drone Dude is in the house. Bob Casey, hey, how you doing, Bob? And who else did I miss? I
There's
don't know.
Rat RH
Rat RH said hello, humans, and
and
monkeys. Don't forget the monkeys. And hello to you,
and then there's Carlos.
Carlos. I didn't see
Yeah, he's
Carlos.
here.
Is he? And David
Yeah.
Smith is here too. Yeah, he's
Mhm.
chimed right in there. Oh, I see. I didn't see Carlos because I hadn't rolled all the way down to the bottom. That was it. Yeah.
Oh, did
Hey,
you
Carlos,
see
how you doing?
Chick-fil-A has a new banner? Yeah, they have a bat that says "Eat more chicken."
I missed your show today, Art. I'm sorry. How was it? Did you have a good show?
Yeah, pretty good. Got a little lively there.
Yeah. You know, on Thursday I almost didn't do the show because I'm tired. I'm just tired of the drum beat these days,
Yeah.
and then today, it's Sunday, and you start, you can't help. What else you got to do? You stuck at
Oh,
home pretty
oh,
much watch.
don't watch those Sunday morning shows.
Well, I didn't, but I
Oh,
did catch bits and pieces of that crap all day long, and
well,
I'm just so tired of it that
I know.
I almost, I mean, I came very close to just post it instead of doing the show tonight. Just putting one of the post. You know how you can post a message.
Yeah.
Once you get 1,000 viewers, you can do that. You can just make a
Mhm.
post. It shows up in the YouTube timeline. And basically say, I'm burnt out, guys. I'm pulling the plug on everything for the next 2 weeks.
Well, I see.
because
I've started a uh, pissing match with an old comedian friend of mine over Trump. So,
oh God, and,
and I knew I should just stayed out of it, but I didn't say anything snarky like I usually do.
yeah.
I just stated that I am confident with our leader, and he'll do the best he can. And basically, tells me, "Well, yeah, go ahead and keep your head in the sand." And I reply, "Ha ha, you're funny." And basically, then I said that, why is he a bad president? Why you hate him? Just asking him questions to kind of draw a dialogue out, and he just wouldn't bite it. And now I'm getting these uh, messages saying so and so mentioned your name, Jeff mentioned your name, blah blah. And I'm like, going, oh boy, I really started something there. They're probably all saying, oh, what an idiot! Oh, he's a Trumpster.
I'm busy giving our new friend Rat
Oh,
RH a blue wrench because Carlos has vouched for him.
oh, okay,
So, hey, if somebody wants to vouch for you, that's fine with me.
okay. So
So there we go, Mr. Rat. You got yourself a blue wrench. You're one of the crew. If you know Carlos, I won't hold that against you. Says it's a good channel. He said, oh, Carlos says we can learn something. So yeah, I have just had enough, Art.
yeah,
I mean, you reach a point where the amount of noise and nonsense that is just drumming on you from morning till
yeah.
night, especially these days, and after that Thursday live stream of mine, which got a little political and rowdy, and then
Oh, yeah.
and then your show last night. I sat there this afternoon and I said, I don't have anything left to say. I mean, I don't have anything left to say, and I said, well, what can we talk about? This is supposed to be a technical show,
Yeah,
but quite frankly, for the past week, I haven't hardly paid attention
yeah.
to flying or anything like that. I've been, and
Yeah,
then,
they're telling us stay inside.
yeah, but they're telling us to stay inside now until the end of April.
Yeah,
I don't know if you heard
so
that or not. Yeah, they just
yeah,
had a
I
press
heard about
conference.
that. So I
Yeah.
wonder if I'm going back to work this week. I know I'm supposed to come in on Tuesday. So, but my boss hasn't said anything.
Well, I mean, a lot of people are still working. The economy,
Yeah,
especially when it comes
I
to the delivery of food, and medical supplies and everything else that
Well,
that we
and
need.
technically, I'm in the medical device business. So even though our sales and our orders has dropped way down, we're probably still getting stuff that's already in the queue, get that all taken care of and moved out, get all caught up.
Well, you're not making ventilators or masks, evidently.
No, it's a dental manufacturing company.
Oh, okay.
And that,
And
that's where Ken comes from.
so,
It was,
well,
it
Ken's
was
got to
one,
come from
they,
somewhere.
they gave each one their stress dolls. You squeeze them. And on the back has
Do you
our
have that
logo.
much stress? Do you have that much stress where you work?
Oh, some of the bosses that we've got, they could kind of drive you a little nuts.
So, I thought tonight what I would do, since this
Okay.
is the FPV workshop,
Okay.
is and since I don't have any particular project that I'm
Right.
working on to play with, take any questions or talk about anything that anybody in the chat wants to talk about. And if we don't get a lot of people showing up, and if we don't get anybody who wants to talk about anything, we'll call it off due to rain or lack of interest or whatever, and
There you go.
I'll go out and smoke a cigar. I'd rather do no show than a bad
Right.
show.
Mhm. Well,
Thursday.
From your address, I was able to do a Google Maps. You got some pretty interesting places you could fly around. You got all those canals and little ponds and
Yeah,
lakes.
except it's inside of an airport, Class B
Yeah.
or Class D airspace, unfortunately, where I live.
Yeah, you're straight east of or west of the airport there.
Melbourne,
Yeah.
within the 5 miles. John Cuppy, or Coopy, I don't know how you pronounce that, but how you
I
doing,
think
buddy?
it's Coopy.
Good to see you. So somebody, tell me what you want to talk about. Any questions about the
Well,
FPV stuff, the builds, Betaflight, INAV,
I
any of that
just
stuff?
heard something the other day that there are some of these FPV guys where they could fly inverted with the props going the other way instead of the props are blowing down when they're inverted and they get hover. And I thought,
That's
wow,
called-
that's interesting. But when you do that, the props you have on now are not that efficient, so you can't really hover for too long. But they do have some props that are made for that, to where you get a little more time hovering invert.
That's called 3D.
Yeah,
call that
that's
three-
right.
They
Yeah.
call that. I'm sucking on a lozenge because too much talking the past few days. My voice is
Uh,
a little scratchy, but they call that 3D.
uh-huh.
And the RC helicopters, 3D flying in the helicopters is more the normal than, it's most people who fly RC helicopters fly them in what they call a 3D mode. And that's
Right.
how they can do those hover inverted, those tick-tock maneuvers where they go back and forth
yeah.
like this.
Mhm.
And the way that's accomplished in an RC helicopter is when your helicopter is sitting on the ground, your throttle stick, just like a Mavic, is in the center.
Right.
And you click a switch on the radio, which then runs the throttle up to high speed. So the propeller, the rotor is spinning very fast, but the throttle doesn't control the motor speed, it controls the collective pitch of the rotor blades.
Oh.
And when you pull the throttle back this way, pull it down, the pitch goes negative, and you get reverse thrust or it pushes down.
Mm.
When you go back to center, you get neutral thrust. When you go high, you get positive thrust. So what you do, for example, and then of course the right stick controls the pitch of the pitch of the rotor blade. So you give it right stick, and the rotor blade pitches right.
Okay.
So if when the helicopter's sitting there, the rotor's running at full speed because you're in the 3D mode, you've got the throttle high set, and there's no lift being generated because the prop blades are absolutely flat. See?
Right.
But if you were to move the right stick around like this in a circle, you'd see the disc, the rotor disc, kind of go like this.
Oh.
And that's how you fly a helicopter, by pitching the rotor disc forward or back,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So you got the thing running, you got your hand on the stick, you give it positive collective, positive pitch on the rotor blades, the thing will climb up.
Mm-hmm.
But then if you wanted to, you could give it a quick right roll it upside down, and then pull this back down this way. And if you pulled this back down, you'd have negative thrust upside down, which would push upwards.
Oh, okay.
So the roll maneuver would look like this on the sticks here.
Right.
Let me get it in the center of the. Whoops, there it is.
The other way. There
It's
we
backwards, yeah. So you go up on this stick to climb up. When you get up to where you want, you start rolling over, and you hold the stick to the right to keep rolling, and as it goes upside down, you pull this stick down. Then as it starts to come back around right side up, you push this stick up and down and up and down and up and down. We'll give you a roll where you don't lose any altitude. And so some rocket scientist guy or whoever said, well, we can do that with quads. We may not have any collective pitch that we can reverse, but we can reverse the directions of the motor in the quad. So when you set up a quad to fly in 3D mode, you fly it the same way you fly a helicopter in 3D.
Right.
Center stick becomes zero thrust in every direction. As you move the stick up, you get the rotation that'll lift the quad right side up. When you pull the stick down, the motors turn the other way and push the quad down. So if you happen to roll the quad upside down, you would just pull the stick down, and the further down you pull it, the faster it wants to climb upside down. Now that takes I've flown a little 3D helicopters, and it's a tricky thing to learn, and there aren't a lot of people who fly 3D quads, but that's what you were talking about.
Yeah. Well, I heard on one of the other channels about that. I thought, wow, that sounds cool.
Not something I want to try with quads. Maybe when I hit my 80th birthday, I've been flying for a little while, I'll try to do 3D. I never really enjoyed doing all that raucous stuff with helicopters anyway. I still enjoyed flying around smoothly. But I still have, how many do I have? 3? Yeah, 3 big RC helicopters.
Wow.
That have been sitting for years and years and years and years. And for some reason, and for some reason today I got the bug. Speaking of helicopters, I got the bug to get one of them up and fly it again. And but I didn't have any batteries, so I ordered a couple of batteries, and these things use 6S 5,000 milliamp batteries.
Right.
Big battery. And in fact, the biggest helicopter I have actually uses 2 5,000 milliamp in series.
Right.
So it's 12S. 12S.
Yeah.
Yeah. 5,000 milliamp, and it's a 800 millimeter blade.
Wow.
Which means the rotor span is greater than about 6 feet. It's
wow.
Yeah, and it was the one that I had built up to lift up a camera platform.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And what I really want to do with it, what I'll do is I'll get it flying again, and I'll make sure that it flies. Mm-hmm. And then I want to put a flight controller on it. and put INAV
Oh, there
in
you
it.
go.
So, and I don't know if INAV is perfectly adapted for helicopters or not yet, but I think I can make it
Right.
work where the thing will be stabilized. It'll have
Right.
altitude hold, position hold, return to home, all that other crap in the helicopter.
Hmm.
So hopefully, this helicopter will start to fly like a Mavic. Anyway, it's a dangerous helicopter, though. I mean, it can chop your head off. The stupid
Oh,
thing.
yeah, I
It's so
bet.
big, yeah. So
I
you gotta
bet.
be careful with those
Yeah.
things. Ray Kelly, how you doing?
Yeah, I hear right.
Yeah,
How about gyrocopter?
RC or regular gyrocopters?
In RC, I was thinking about getting a kit and put a COTS engine on it, and then just have it. That's the power that gets it going, and then have a servo on there that would that could turn it. You know, like a
They're tough. They've been a lot of guys have tried those things. Uh, they don't do real well
oh,
as an
okay.
RC model.
Okay. Well, you
They
saved me some money then.
yeah, don't do that. That if you want to get into something and you feel like, because that's like flying an airplane now.
Yeah.
You fly at line of sight. If you want to do something like that, you get yourself one of those little foamy, lightweight airplanes, and the beginner type thing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
practice and learn how to fly that,
Right.
because that gyrocopter. The problem with anything, I don't care if it's helicopter, gyrocopter, anything that's got rotor blades on it, is not very forgiving when you have a bad
Yeah.
landing or a crash.
Right.
You take one of these FPV drones and you slam it into a tree
Right.
at 50 miles an hour, and you go pick it up. Maybe you got to change a prop
Yeah.
in most cases, and you're
Yeah.
flying again. You take an RC, a $2,000 RC helicopter, and slam
Yeah.
it into a tree at 50, or even just make a bad landing where it tips over and the rotor hits the ground. You ever seen one
Oh,
of those things? They
yeah.
just wrap themselves up into a big ball of twisted stuff.
Oh boy,
Oh,
yeah.
it's terrible. Yeah,
Mhm.
and if you don't believe me, there's no shortage of videos on YouTube
Right.
about
Yep.
guys crashing RC helicopters, which really is why the quads are so much easier
Yep.
to maintain, because
Right.
even if you make a bad landing and it bounces, or
Yeah.
you accidentally, it falls out of the sky from 20 feet,
Unless
you're not going to wreck it.
you're Ken Heron, you end up breaking the SD card.
I saw that. Well, he's got that. You remember that? You remember me talking about my Beta FPV 85X drone that never flew right and finally ended up in the canal
Yeah.
because every time I pulled the throttle back, it fell out of the sky, even with air mode. There was something wrong with it from the first day I got it, and
Oh boy.
that's what he keeps crashing. But I got to hand it to Ken. I watched that video
Uh-huh.
where he actually took the other guy's quad and flew it around the statue and
Yeah.
everything, and
Mhm.
he's starting to get a feel for it. I was
Yep. Yeah. And
uh,
hopefully I will too one of these days. Hey, Gary, Brett Ariels is in,
oh,
John.
hey Gary, how you doing?
Yeah.
Good to see you here.
Lurking quietly in the background.
John was saying that's where my toy grade RC helicopters are broken and thrown away. Yeah, John. And the new toy grade helicopters that they sell, a lot of them, they're stabilized.
Uh-huh.
They actually have stabilization in them, and like flying a quad in angle mode, it self levels, whereas the big RC helicopters don't do that. And that,
Right.
and a helicopter is without a doubt, the easiest thing while you're flying at line of sight to get disoriented,
Yeah.
not knowing which way to front and the back, because you see that tail rotor sticking out, but sometimes you can't tell whether it's pointed towards you or pointed away from you. If you ever lose that mental image of where the helicopter is supposed to be, and just rely on looking at it. Now, an airplane is a different thing. It's easy. With an airplane, it's easy to tell the nose, the wings, and the tail.
Yep.
But with that helicopter, the way that thing rotates around, it can be flying backwards, it could be flying sideways, it could be, you never know.
Right.
And once you lose that orientation of which way front is, trying to keep that rotor level or make a turn, you don't know which way it's going and what you're doing, and that immediately leads to a,
Right.
gone. So they're just an awful lot harder to fly than RC airplanes.
Yeah.
Now, if you threw an FPV camera in the front of it,
Yeah.
and flew it through goggles, which
no.
some guys have done, but not a lot, that solves the problem of not
Right.
knowing which way forward is, because it's
Right.
you're looking forward, and I think that. So, what I'm thinking I want to do is take this 600 size helicopter that I have. It's T-Rex 600. It's an Align helicopter, and it's about $1,000 helicopter, believe it or not. And that's the problem with these helicopters. They're hugely expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I'll tell you what. Entertain the troops. I'm going to see if I can't.
Okay.
Hold on a second. I'll go get that thing.
All right.
Okay, I can't hear you now.
All right. So I'll tell a joke. There's a guy. He's laying in bed in the hospital, and nurse comes in. She's going to give him a sponge bath, and he's got a respirator mask on. Well, because he's there because of COVID, and so the nurse comes in and gets ready to, give him a sponge bath, and he says, "Are my testicles black?" And she goes, "Sir, I'm sure you're fine. I'm just here to give you a little sponge bath." So he said, "Nurse, could you tell me, are my testicles black?" And she goes, she reluctantly looks under and pulls up his gown and goes, "You're fine, you're fine." The guy takes the mask off and says, "Are my test results back?"
I missed the punchline on that, Art. I missed the joke. I heard the punchline.
Oh, yeah, a guy is in the hospital lying in bed, and he's got a mask on, and the nurse is going to give him a sponge bath, and he asked her, "Are his testicles black?"
Oh, okay. I get it. Hang on a second. Oh, man. I should have. Oh, this thing is a little dusty. I'm going to see if I can't
All right.
can't show this to you guys, because it's really quite a machine. I can't show it to you on this camera, but I could probably do it here. All right, let's. I even knocked the camera when I was.
Oh, wow, that is big.
So this is the helicopter here.
Right?
I don't know if you can see it or not.
Wow.
But to show you the size of this thing.
Yeah, compared to those quads you got there.
Yeah, this is.
Oh, man.
The green screen. It's got a yellow canopy.
Yeah.
So it's making it clear. But this is, you can see it compared to the size of me here.
Yeah.
And this is a 600 millimeter blades on rotors. And let me pull the. So you can see the mechanics in this thing.
Right.
And the rotor blade, the rotor head here is where all the complicated shit happens. The swash
Yeah.
plate and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is this is something that I think it's got a big ass motor in it. There's the motor right there.
Right.
There's the ESC
Uh-huh.
right here. The battery straps, big 5006 cell straps up front here.
Oh, okay.
And that's it. So we'll see. Let me set it down here on the floor. But I may, maybe next Sunday, I'll set the table up here behind me and we'll work on the helicopter. That's the drone. Yeah, Joe, that's the T-Rex. The T-Rex. You like the way you can see through it? Cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
the
can't see your face.
No, I know, because it's just the thing is covering my face. I could, but it is the Align. You can see the writing on there. It's the Align
Yep.
T-Rex, and
Yep.
says 3D right on the side there. See it? So that's one that's been sitting in my closet since. The last time I flew this helicopter was probably
1948.
no, but it was almost that long ago. It was probably, I would say, 2009, 2008,
Wow.
somewhere in there. Yeah. So it's been a long time.
Strap a Mavic Mini under it and use it as a gimbaled camera.
Yeah. Well, that's what I tried to do. You guys, if you've been with me for any length of time, you've seen that video that I did of my first attempt at flying aerial cameras. Do you remember that, Art? Did you see that?
I don't know if I did. I may have seen.
Let me see if I can. See if I can find that.
Yeah. And while you're doing that, I'll hop on the piano.
Yeah, why don't you do that? Yeah, if I go to my.
Oh,
If
and
I
I
go-
surpassed my 20 hours on StreamYard, so I had to use vMix today on the show.
Oh, yeah, you can do that. The way I've got my schedule set up, I'm just making it. Just making it.
Yeah.
Oh, Dr. Drone is here. Hey, Dr. Drone, how you doing? And good to see you, man. Good to see you.
Oh,
Dennis is here. Dennis Lovelady's in here. Who else did I miss while I was busy trying to get that big helicopter out of a closet that has more shit in it than it should? And the closet is right behind my work table here too. So it's a good thing that my whole entire studio didn't come crashing down on itself while I was trying to get that thing out of the closet. Let me see here. Videos. This. What we did is we took this big 800 size helicopter.
Right.
And hold on a second here. Let me. Get it here. We took this 800 size helicopter.
Right. Ooh. Oh, wow.
Right there. And
oh, yeah. And those.
yeah,
those
those are the
sticks
landing
them up.
gear. Now this helicopter is almost 2 feet longer than the one I just showed you.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's big. So at any rate, this thing, and underneath here is a stabilized, kind of a homemade stabilized camera mount that doesn't work nearly as good as the Mavic because it used RC gyros on the 3 different axes. But
Right.
yeah, but it had a tripod mount, and you mounted a full-size camera. You could mount a 5-pound camera on this thing.
Right.
It would lift it up, but it had no stabilization whatsoever, and the whole rig weighed about 20 pounds.
Oh man.
And what a beast it was to fly. But at any rate, this was our first attempt at aerial photography with an RC helicopter. And that you can see in the window there is what the camera was seeing from the helicopter. And I was right there flying the camera, and my buddy Bob was actually flying the helicopter. So it was a two-man, and I had a screen where I could see the output from the camera. So I could rotate the camera, and when the helicopter rotated, the camera stayed in place. In other words, you could rotate the helicopter above the camera, but the camera would always stay the way it was pointed until you flew it to a different thing.
Right.
But very, very hard to fly and keep it steady.
I bet.
And this was in the mid '90s.
Wow.
No, not the mid '90s. It was in 2000, 2002, 2003. 2005, somewhere in there,
Right.
15, 20 years ago. And that was our RC flying field. We had a runway there and everything. And I was going to go into the aerial photography business. I formed a little company called Florida Skycam. You can see the logo down there. That. And I had it all incorporated and ready to go. And just about the time I was about ready to get my first, we practiced, we got it to where we could get pretty decent video out of the thing.
Right.
And the FAA knocked on my door and said, "What do you think you're doing?" Pretty much, yeah. The FAA decided that these things, they didn't like them. So basically we were told that in order to do this kind of thing, I had to actually get the aircraft certified. As an experimental aircraft, as if I had built a home-built airplane, a real airplane.
Yeah.
There was nothing, if you're using it for commercial purposes, I could fly it around all I wanted if it was for hobby use, but I couldn't. This was way before they ever dreamt up 107. So, so because of that, and I had about $5,000 invested in that equipment right there to do this. And I still have that. I still have all that equipment sitting in my closet here. So I thought, wow, that big helicopter is such a neat piece of machinery that it really would be fun to, with the new flight controllers and everything that we have, to put a flight controller on it.
There you go. And then you put a GoPro 8 on there.
Well, I could put any. I wouldn't be carrying that. I wouldn't be carrying that big thing slung underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could put any kind of a camera on it. This thing will lift a 10-pound payload, for God's sakes.
Right.
I could take up, and this is what they were doing it back in the early days of aerial photography. This is how they did it in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
They had big helicopters like this with stabilized camera mounts on them.
Right.
And the talent, the expertise that you needed to be a pilot to fly these things, it was so rare. There weren't many guys that could actually do it. Mr. Steele level pilot guys, if you want to compare it to the quads and to current day pilots, could keep those things in the air without crashing them and fly them at 50, 60 miles an hour, chasing cars down the highway to get the chase scenes, and carrying $100,000 worth of camera equipment on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a big time deal. It wasn't easy like it is today to just go out and buy a drone and say, okay, I push this to go up, right?
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. These guys that were flying. Drone Shot says, here, can I show this? Well, let's see what this is. Jody, is it something that's going to get me a copyright strike? Video unavailable, it says. So, whatever that means, I'll try it again, but I don't. Sorry, Jody, all I'm getting is this video unavailable message. What else am I missing in the chat here? So it's just you and me, Art, it looks like.
Yeah.
I don't know where everybody else is.
Done about 45 minutes, and it's not bad. Just two of us.
Yeah, that is. Everybody's asking Jody if that's a private video. Mitch, here you can show this one. Okay, the only problem is whenever I hold on a second, let me do it from here, because when I have my chat popped out and I click one of the links, it wipes out the chat window and tries to show the thing. So let me go back to my channel here and go to this video that we're watching, which will give me another chat. And now I can try to click on that link and see what happens. Video unavailable, it says. There. That's what I'm getting. Let's try.
Oh.
Did I get the right one there, Jody? Let's see. I had a dot in front of the H. No, I'm still can't click on it. Let me try the first link that you... there's the first one that you sent.
Oh, nope.
Nope.
Not gonna.
Not gonna work.
Wouldn't
Not
be
gonna
true.
do it. Not gonna do it.
Not gonna.
I don't know. Sorry.
1,000 points of light.
Yeah.
Not gonna do it. Not gonna.
Oh well.
Wouldn't be prudent.
We'll keep trying. Oh, another link. Okay, let's try this one.
Yeah, there you go. It's the missing link.
Hey, you got it. Okay, so let's see. What is this that we're watching here? Is this something that might be copyrighted that I can't show? I don't know what this is. At any rate, I got no sound on it, but
Huh.
the resolution of it is terrible. Have you noticed that the resolution that YouTube is giving you these days is just awful?
Huh.
This thing's in 240p, and that's the most I can get.
Hey.
Holy mackerel! What a contraption! Hey, I'll show it to you guys, and I doubt I'll get a copyright strike on this thing. But there it is, and I can't read what that says, but
Oh.
look at this contraption.
Wow.
What is that, Jody? Back from the Sky sent me a 14-second video of an upside-down flying helicopter. Holy, it's got a gun on it? What is that? Oh, I'm going to get arrested.
A gunship.
Autocopter gunship. No, we're not going to do that because I'll end up getting arrested. Sorry, guys. Yeah, you know, I should be able to show anything like that I want, but I have a funny feeling that next thing you know, YouTube would arrest me for it. Let's see what where's my chat now? Let's see. Carlos has sent me a link of an upside down flying helicopter. 14-second video. Let's see what we got here. I see grass. Oh, there it is. All right, I suppose I could show that. All right, let me give that one to you guys. There it is. Yeah. Try to cut the grass. Woo, there it goes. And interestingly enough, on that when that thing shot up like that, I mean,
Yeah.
just shot up. The guy was inverted, flying probably right about here,
Yeah.
right, just a little bit below center,
Yeah.
upside down. And what he did was this: pulled it all the way down, and it shot up because it's backwards. See?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough enough flying RC airplanes inverted. Nowhere near as hard as flying a helicopter inverted. It's much easier to keep track of
Yeah.
of an airplane because it's only gone. See, an airplane
It's-
is only gone in one direction. It's gone forward.
Right.
End of story. That's it. An airplane is not going to fly sideways. It's not going to fly backwards. It's always gone forward. In a helicopter, forward, there is no forward. There's only the way the rotor's tilted. So if you've got a helicopter sitting there like this and you turn it sideways like a drone
Right.
and tilt the rotor that way, it'll fly sideways.
Right.
So imagine you're upside down now. And it's pointing in towards you, upside down, and everything is backwards. So you have to practice. You have to practice that stuff.
Right.
Just like with drones, only the drones will survive all the wrecks that you're going to have when you're practicing. The helicopters don't. So it just takes a lot of perseverance and a lot of money
Well, that's
to
it.
go through the broken helicopters that you're going to go through to try to learn that stuff. I'm serious. I'm serious, and that's why there's not a ton of guys that do it, but it's mostly the young kids. Just like with these real hot rod drone racing guys, most of them are young because
Right.
today they're the video game crowd. Yeah, Jody says it's like flying a real heli. Yeah, but you very rarely see a real heli upside down. They're not built for that.
Hey,
Mel is
there-
here. Hey, Mel, how you doing?
Mel,
Mel's
yeah.
Mel's in the chat too. There he is. Hold on a second, Mel. Let's see if we can get you in here.
Yeah.
There you are.
Hey, hey.
Hey, that was a good show you had tonight, Mel.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I
Thanks
was
very much.
I was really. I mean, I was lurking. I was busy setting my thing up, but I was lurking there watching, and that was very informative. It was really interesting to hear
Firsthand.
firsthand
Yeah.
from the drivers and
Front line,
what they
yep.
were experiencing, and it sounds like they're being pretty well looked after.
They are. They're being taken care of. Like I said, the Love's truck stop up here, they have a compactor, a trash compactor that they put all their trash from the truck stop in, and we
Right.
haul it, and it's their equipment, but we haul it and dump it at the landfill for them. And the other day I was up there, and they had, like I said, they had the food court area inside the Love's truck stop blocked off with 2 employees that were serving out all the product to people that wanted stuff. They weren't letting people into that area at all, like the self-serve coffee and so forth.
Yep.
They'd pour the coffee and give it to you. They weren't letting anybody handle any of that stuff, and I thought that was really cool. Hey,
Yep.
Chris. So yeah, I was impressed with how they're doing the best they can.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was really interesting. I want to thank you for doing that. That was
Yeah.
we all try to do different things on these live streams, and we try to be relevant and informative, and
Yep.
that was a good thought to do that. I myself have asked Donald Trump to come on my live stream, but haven't gotten very far with that.
I've not
unfortunately.
heard back from him either. So yeah, I know
Yeah.
what you mean. I understand what you're going through.
Yeah. I think
Art-
he
Art-
said
Art will
3
probably-
weeks from today from me.
Yeah, Art will probably get him first.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I just thought that would be a good change, something, to
Yeah.
to kind of show people what's going on, since I kind of see that firsthand, and I thought I just thought it'd be cool.
Yeah.
The
was.
thing
That
the
was
thing
cool.
I was most impressed with Ray, we did a test, and we visited for like 30 minutes because he was doing it from his phone, and so was she. They both were using their cell phones.
Right.
And I actually logged into it with my cell phone, and I had vMix running on the computer in the house, and I went out to the back deck and sat out there with my phone talking with Ray. He was on his phone, and my computer was in the house handling all the technical stuff. And I thought, man, this is going to work out real cool. So I sent her the information via email on what she had to do, and she connected right in, and the technology worked. Nothing lagged, nothing froze up, nothing. I was just, that's what I was worried about, you know.
No,
Yeah.
I mean
The back end side, and it.
Yeah, and
it
I was surprised.
It was perfect.
It was perfect. All
Yeah.
the connections were good. The
Yep.
the video was solid. Yeah,
Yep. So I was pleased.
good. So what? I was watching the news conference today,
Mm-hmm.
and they announced that they're extending the quote guidelines
Right.
to the end of April.
Right.
So that's another 5 weeks basically
Yep. Just about.
of staying home, and that's unless your local city or county supersedes the guidelines with an order of stay at home or you'll be shot out in the street kind of thing,
Right. Right.
So I've been trying to be optimistic about all this and was hoping that in another 2 weeks we'd probably have the answer, and we might in 2 weeks. And they were saying that in another 2 weeks we should have enough data to where we don't have to rely so much on the predictions and the models, because we all
Right.
know how models, especially like climate change models, can
Yeah.
Sure.
say whatever the modeler wants them to say.
Yep.
You don't like the way the output is, change a variable or two here or there. You can make it say
Yep.
anything you want.
That's exactly
And
right.
so it looks like for another 4 or 5 weeks, the country's going to be pretty much shut down. So
Yep.
it's going to be interesting.
I think some of
wasn't-
the non-essential stuff, especially in the Midwest areas, the flyover that our friends in Washington chose to call it. I guess that's because what it is. But
Yeah.
only if they're jet setters and they go from the East Coast to the West Coast, then the rest of it's flyover, right? So anyway.
Right.
Right. I think we in the flyover will not only will we not be hit nearly as hard as the coasts for obvious reasons,
Mm-hmm.
but we will get back to a closer resemblance of normal sooner for those same reasons. We don't have near the population.
Yeah.
People are staying kind of away from each other. They're not getting crazy, for the most part. They're not going out dancing and partying, and there's no spring break going on here, stuff like that. So
Right.
I think that we're going to fare, even if you look at the percentage numbers for population versus incidents and so forth, I think our percentages will even be lower. I don't think we'll have we're certainly not going to have the body count unless we get another tornado like we had last night.
But officially, officially they said, and as Fauci was asked that question, officially he said, no, they don't want to open up any areas early, regardless of whether they're having a lot of, because that was his answer. I still contend that people are going to open it up without anybody's permission because they're just going to get tired of it.
Well, and as it's safe to do so, I don't see a problem with that. I really don't.
But so I have a funny feeling we're going to see a second round of Santa Claus money giveaways, because the first round is not going to cover everybody for another month.
Well, they're,
So we'll
they're,
see. I guess we just have to wait and see what happens.
Said
You know.
today on his show they're doing 2 checks, one for 2 months. They're doing 2 months already in checks, so
Yep.
that should be a help
Well,
to most.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm not going to send it back. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Me neither.
Yeah.
Now, is there art? Is there? I heard on the news they were talking about having some sort of website set up where you're supposed to be able to log on and enter some information and put your account information in, give it to them so they can do these direct deposits. Or
Oh, that's already done through the IRS if you already do direct deposit.
Yeah.
but what if you don't use direct deposit with the IRS?
Well, they said, here's what they said: file your 2019 return and put the direct deposit information in there with it.
Oh, okay.
That's what they said. Now, I'm curious because as a Social Security recipient, I'm already getting direct deposits from them every month.
Yeah.
As are, I would say, 99% of all Social Security recipients. Very few people get checks in the mail anymore from them.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
they already got all that information for me. And it'd be interesting for us in our community here. When you get your check, let us know about it. Mention it in a chat or something like that.
Yeah.
Just curious to see.
Yeah, I like to see
who might
how
get there.
They'll get those out to people.
Yeah, well, they're going to have to.
It'll be 2, maybe 3 weeks at the most, but I think it might be 2 weeks, might be 10 days. I don't know. Because
It'll be
I know
interesting.
when I did my taxes, my refund came within less than 2 weeks.
I didn't do my 2019 taxes yet because I got to pay some taxes, so I always wait till the last minute, which was going to be April 15th, and now it's July 15th, so I don't have to pay any money. So I'll just take the money that they send me and I'll put it in the refrigerator and keep it nice and cool until I got to give it back to them. We never get
There you go. Oh, and there's going to be a payroll tax holiday, so
Yeah.
if you're working, that's less money taken out of your check.
Well, interesting, I pay self-employment tax on my earnings because I'm basically an independent contractor with all the graphics work I do. So everybody that I work for sends me 1099s, and I have to fill out and pay self-employment tax, which is the employer's half of the payroll tax.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to see next year when you go to file 2020's taxes, if they actually say, I don't have to pay that self-employment tax for these certain months of 2020, which is by all rights is the way it should be. If it's a payroll tax holiday, why should I be the only guy to be paying payroll tax? Well, we'll see.
Yep.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yep.
Anyway, I just
Dennis,
wanted to
you're
pop
funny.
in and say hey.
Good to have you.
Yeah.
Good to have you. We're not really going anywhere tonight, Mel. You've had these kind of shows where you just
Well,
go, "Oh,
Mitch,
here
you
we
followed
go."
one of the best shows I've ever had, so
I know.
you're in
Act-
trouble already.
It's a tough. It was a tough act to follow, Mel. So
I'm just being funny, but no, I thought it was. I was originally, and I talked to my buddy yesterday, Ray, about doing an interview, and I was going to record it, make a video, and then play that video tonight. And then today I said, well, wait a minute. Why do that? Why not just have him live on the show,
Yeah, there you go.
Duh.
I think, that was much better doing it that way.
And so,
it was
yeah.
very
it was,
inspired. Very inspired, Mel.
Yeah.
It's going to be a
And,
tough act.
she's-
Now, what are you going to do next week? Now,
She's kind of a rookie. She's only been driving a couple years,
Oh,
and he's a 30-year veteran like me.
oh wow.
So, yeah.
Well, good. Now it was very good, but now you're going to have next week you're going to have to top it.
That
you're
won't
gonna
be hard.
Put pressure on yourself.
That won't be hard. DJT will be there to help me out.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you tell him Art and I are waiting in line, would you?
Okay.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming in. Always good to see you.
Thanks. Talk to you
Okay,
soon.
Take care.
Good to see you, Mel.
JDS, how you doing? Who else is here? Carlos says if we're paying less tax, who's funding the government? They don't need to be funded. They got a printing press, you know. They just
Yeah, that's right.
print all
Well,
the
they
money
got
that they need.
That building in where is it? Kentucky, Tennessee. It's,
Fort Knox.
yeah, Fort Knox. They got all that gold.
I don't even know if there's any gold in Fort Knox anymore. I don't know. We're borrowing it. Where do you think we're getting it from?
Yeah,
We're borrowing more money, but
you know, we get.
this
gotta
is one of
keep
the
it
few
going.
things the government's done that I think is, you know, a worthwhile reason to borrow money. You know, we definitely we had a choice. You know, either let this thing just run its course, kill a couple million people,
Yep.
or try to do something about it, which
Tank the
cost me a lot of
economy, go
money.
into a
Cost a lot of
depression,
money.
yeah.
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 And man, I was watching that. That news conference today, and nothing pisses me off more than these liberal reporters, the mainstream media reporters, and they were out in force today. They show such disrespect for our president.
Right.
Such disrespect. If anybody had ever done that to Obama, they would have thrown him in jail.
Yep.
If anybody had ever talked to Obama in that third degree prosecutorial tone of voice that these gotcha, I'm gonna nail you tone of voice that these people do, and Trump, he just throws it right back in their face.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw it today, but he really went at it with them today. Some guy from CNN, some guy from Bloomberg. I mean, and he just threw it right back in their face.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Called them all kinds of names. Told them they were fake news.
Fake news. Oh, that really gets him when he calls them fake news. Because
Yeah,
he's
he just
right on the money. And you know, I've been listening to Rush Limbaugh since the early '90s, and he has been talking about this. But he's calling it, you know, opinion journalism masquerading as news, where Trump has just shortened it to fake news.
fake news. Yeah,
Yep.
It's really something to watch them. They're always trying to come up with one of these snide, sarcastic questions. You said last night on Sean Hannity's show that you weren't going to have anything to do with the state of Washington because you don't like the governor. And that's not what he said.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes out and he says, you won't talk to the governor. You won't call the two governors that are just giving him a hard time, bad mouthing him left, right, and center. And so Trump comes back and says, I won't call him. I don't like him. What you got in Washington is a failed presidential candidate who's useless, he says, and I won't call him. Mike Pence will call him. And they went right down the list of all the people on his team. He says, they'll call him and make sure he gets what he needs. But I won't call him. I don't like the guy. He said this. And I was loving it. Because I have never seen a politician in all my years that had the guts to stand up to these jackals like he does. And what they don't seem to realize is the more that they do that kind of shit, the more that they try to hit him with all these stupid gotcha questions. You know what a gotcha question is, right?
Yeah.
So,
Art,
when did you stop beating your wife? Yeah. So, Art, when did you stop beating your wife?
Yeah.
You know, or questions that no matter.
Sources say.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. What do you say to all your critics, Mr. Trump, who say, blah 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 blah? Yeah, you know, they're all these ridiculous questions, and he knows how to handle it.
Yep.
It's good.
They're
It's
all
good. But
canned
he's the first
questions
politician
that
I've
are
ever seen who
recycled.
did know how to handle it.
Mhm.
Now, most of the time before him, reporters didn't have the guts to even ask to get as ridiculous as they are. But
Uh-huh.
they have so little respect for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
How they even get in there in the
Well,
first place is
they
beyond me.
sort of got it with George W. Bush. That's when it started creeping into where they were uh, asking gotcha questions. And then when Trump became president, it's like, gloves off. We're going to go after him. We hate him. We don't care. Blah, blah, blah. And so that's why they're doing it. I see I'm getting these Facebook notifications. I'm being roasted by that comedian on Facebook. So yeah, I keep seeing this notification. So and so mentioned you. So and so mentioned you. I'm like, whatever.
Well, let's see if you ever dig up your old friends again, huh?
Well,
Got
the
you in
ones
trouble.
that have gone, those are the few that I have left, and they're either apolitical or they're like-minded. Uh, like Steve McGrew. I mean, he's a conservative, and he does this character called Liberal Larry, where he's
Oh,
got
really?
the pink pussy hat on and the big
Oh, no.
glasses thing. And that Donald Trump, he's so bad. And now all these liberal outfits, they're using his meme to kind of justify what they're saying about him. He's having a blast doing that. He's funny as heck. The
I'm
last
looking.
time I saw him was when Chad Prather was touring with him. It was the funniest show. And the sad thing about it is, a couple of years ago, he was hired to do New Year's Eve at the Comedy Works here in Denver, and all the liberal Denver comics were trying to get him kicked off of that. And I'm like, you guys are a bunch of spineless a-holes.
Are
What
most
do
of
you
the
care
most of the
about
comics are most of the comics are liberals, aren't
Yeah,
they?
they're about
Yeah.
80% liberal.
Yeah,
The
like that,
rest,
like most of Hollywood, it's the same way.
yeah, the
Yeah.
rest are about, the other 10, 20% are either don't care, apolitical, and I'd say about 5% are like-minded, like us. And
Now,
sadly, they're getting hit. Their work has dropped off. But like Steve McGrew can't work at Brad Garrett's club anymore. They were buds for a long, long time. Now Brad just won't book 'em.
well, I wouldn't book them either if I owned a club. So, like I say, you vote with your feet. That's the only thing you can. There's
Yeah,
the only power you have
yeah.
anymore. You got no other power.
Oh,
Um,
that was the last time I'd been to a comedy club. I won't go to downtown Denver anymore because I don't want to be hassled by homeless people, and the parking is terrible downtown because they
uh,
took they took all the parking spots and turned them into bike lanes. Ah, they
uh,
screwed up the traffic in downtown Denver. Oh God.
I'm reading the chat. I'm reading the chat here. Carlos and Dennis are having a discussion about the news media. They're not. They're not reporters.
No,
They're political activists.
yeah,
That's all
yep,
they are. They're not reporters. They're not journalists. There's nothing newsy about anything they say.
yep.
It's
And
it's
that's what's happened to journalism schools. They've changed. It used to be they used to teach them how to write a story and how to report an event. Now it changed. I think in the late 60s, they started, opinion journalists.
Ever since Watergate, everybody wanted to be the next Woodward and Bernstein.
Yep.
They want to be the ones that go down in history for having taken down a president.
Yep.
And as long as it's a Republican president, but
Yeah.
none of them have ever gone after a Democrat president.
Yeah. They
For any reason. For any reason.
Yeah, they propped up Bill Clinton, even though he was.
Yeah, and Obama, they couldn't, they couldn't kiss his ass enough.
Oh, and
Trump,
Obama,
they have the lack of respect that I see.
Mhm.
They won't even let him answer a question. They jump right in and interrupt him. They ask him a question. If if he doesn't start right out answering it the way they want, they jump in and interrupt him. And he has to say to them, and they did the same thing to Mitch McConnell yesterday or today. Some reporter asked him a question, and he got 10 words out, and she jumped all over him. And he looked at her, and he held his hand up like this, and he said, I can answer that. I can answer that question. You don't need to answer it for me. And he went and finished the question, and then that was it. And it was the greatest thing, because he was going to take a bunch of questions, and this first question was one of those snide gotcha type things.
Yeah.
So he answered the question. He says, "Okay, folks, thanks for coming," and turned and walked away. Oh, Bill, Metro Drones, thank you. Trump 2020, yes, sir, yes, sir. Here, there he is. There he is.
Mm-hmm.
It's Santa Trump. This is our new. This is the coolest thing. I've shown you this before. Some of you probably haven't seen it.
Yep.
But my daughter-in-law bought this for me. It's a garden. It's a garden gnome.
Right.
It's supposed to set it out in the garden, and it says,
"Make America great."
No, make your garden great again. That's cool. So he sits over here next to what my son got me.
Walter. Yeah.
Because he says it reminds him of me.
Well, Jeff Dunham was supposed to come to Denver, I think, next weekend, but I think that got canceled. So
Walter's my favorite.
Yeah.
My favorite character. And we do share a lot in common, Walter and I. We both have pretty much the same attitude and the same hairline.
Yeah, that's right.
Jeff Dunham had a quickie little post, about the coronavirus. A 5 or 6 minute little video on YouTube. It was kind of cool.
All his characters.
Yeah, all of his characters.
Yeah, Senor Jalapeno. He said, "I want to go back to
Mexico." Yeah, yeah, it was funny. That was funny.
Yeah.
Dennis wants to know where I got that. You're talking about the Trump gnome. I don't know where she got the Trump garden gnome.
Definitely.
You could probably Google it and find it. The Trump garden gnome. I doubt there's too many people selling them. Thanks again, Bill. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Very nice of you. Bill at Metro Drones.
Well, hopefully
found the super chat
I will
button.
be able to get super chats.
Yeah, I get them. It's kind of with mixed feelings, I guess. I mean, of course, I like it when somebody appreciates what we're doing enough to say hello that way.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I use it. Whatever I get, believe me, I use for. I buy something to make this show a little better. But I don't expect to make a living at this.
Oh yeah.
And Rick Halber, if you're still there, oh he is. Yeah, Rick, I took your little drone out today and flew it around outside my house and and forgot to push the record button on the DVR, so I don't have the proof, but it flew. This little sucker is fast.
Yeah.
Carlos, this little thing is a rocket ship. Jesus, I had to hang on with both hands. I mean, I put it in acro mode. I took off, put the nose down, hit the throttle, and the next thing I knew, it was half a mile away. Jeez. Speaking of Carlos, see, that's it. All I got to do is say a name, and they show up.
Good evening.
Hey, Carlos, how you doing, buddy?
Try to send that drone off to you this week.
Excuse me.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'll be happy to do it for you.
Any flight footage, Mitch?
No, I didn't. I went out there and I just wanted to do one flight just to see, because I hadn't really flown it, and it's a little rocket ship.
And it flies really smooth.
Yeah, but the problem is
forever.
that it gets out of range real fast.
Wait.
The radio, yeah, my transmitter kept telling me,
It's not accurate. It's not accurate. That's why I think in the beginning they turn it off, RSSI off, or something like that. I hear that it's not totally accurate.
Right,
But
whatever, it's always. I mean, I didn't get 150 feet away when it's telling me that
Right.
critical signal says. So, and the 25 milliwatt video transmitter is okay if you stay close. Yeah, but
Right.
I put that. I flew this thing also. The little Tyro, the Tyro89, and it was the first time I flown it since I put that 350 milliwatt Rush mini tank in there, tiny tank or whatever they call it. What a difference that made.
Nice.
Oh man, and this thing has the RSXR receiver with the dual antennas, so it's got the same range as the bigger 5-inch quads have.
Almost
so,
like diversity.
yeah, so it is diversity, and it's got the big long antenna. It's a good receiver. It's got telemetry and everything. So this tiny little quad now with the big time receiver and the much more powerful video transmitter is really a lot of fun to fly. Yeah, but
And you can do it in you're right outside.
I can, but it's a little much because this is faster than this thing is faster than the little Tynyhawk.
Yeah.
This thing, yeah, this flies on a 3S 650, and it just gets up and scats. So this is more for park for me anyway.
Yeah.
Did you take out the 2.0, the other Tynyhawk?
No, I didn't fly that one today.
Oh, okay.
Can only fly so much, man. I only flew a couple flights today. I don't like to fly around the neighborhood here. I just don't.
Yeah, he's only a 3-pack.
You might be able to pick up a chick while you're flying. Some interest.
There are no chicks around here.
A hen?
There are only grandma hens is what we have around here.
Yeah.
And each grandma hen comes complete with four dogs. Each one of them comes complete with 4 dogs.
Yep. One that fits in her purse that she carries around with.
Mitch, do you have people that push their dogs on strollers in your neighborhood?
Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah.
You have that?
Or we have some of them that have 3-wheel bicycles with a little basket in the back, and the dog rides. The dog rides in the back.
Oh God.
It's crazy. People actually they dress up the dogs and then they put them in strollers and walk them. Like with a straight face.
Yeah.
What's going on with this
Oh
one?
man.
They have perfume called Rough Lauren, stuff like that.
Rough around. Oh God.
Did you not?
Well, tonight's not much of a technical show, guys. I hope that's all right with you. But if you do want to talk about anything technical, let me know, because I'm happy to do that. But for some reason, I said, well, maybe I'll fly my little Tynyhawk in the house here, like I did that one time.
There you go.
I don't know. Don't even feel like doing that.
A night flight. I pretty much did no news today.
Yeah, you have to.
Movies, Netflix, YouTube, put out a video, stuff.
I'll tell you, I'm watching.
Video. You can put
I'm
my latest
watching.
video.
I saw that. I didn't get a chance to watch it yet, but I'm watching Ozark. Have you guys
Is
seen
that any
Ozark?
good?
Oh
Is that
man, is that any good? That's fabulous.
Has that been around a while?
That's
Oh
the
no,
third
I'm
se-
thinking of
the-
Bloodlines. Is that the other one?
I don't know.
My,
But Ozark
my
is
son suggested
Ozark
something
is
like that. Yeah.
Ozark is great. This is the third season of it. It just keeps getting better.
I have
What's
to
the
check
name
it
of it?
out.
What's the guy's name? Joey Suzu. What is it? What is his? Jason Bateman.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, he
all
was
right.
Joey Suzu. Remember
Oh,
him?
I remember him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, he stars in it, and
Yes.
Laura Kinney stars is his wife. And the story, they're a couple that, and I can't even remember how it started because it was 2 years ago. But they end up. They were run out of town and they ended up, they were going to get killed or something. Anyway, they had to move someplace where nobody could find them, so they moved up to the Ozarks in Missouri where the gambling ships are.
Yeah.
And they were laundering drug money for some Mexican drug cartel. That's what they were doing. So they bought this casino to use as a front for laundering the drug money.
Nice.
Wow.
It's one of these binge things, once you know, like Breaking Bad. Once you start and you say, I'll just watch one more episode, that episode
Yeah.
comes to an end and it flips to next thing you know, you've watched an entire season and haven't left the couch. Yeah. And it's much better than watching the news these days
Yep.
because that'll drive you. It's
And no
driving me
commercials.
crazy.
No
Yeah.
commercials.
Oh yeah, no commercials on Netflix. But it's driving this stuff. I got to tell you guys, I don't normally get depressed, but this is beginning to get to wear on me. The stupidity of yeah, we got a problem. Yeah, we got a bug. Yeah, stay home.
Yeah.
But the politics that they keep bringing in and
Yep.
who was it that said never let a good crisis go to waste?
Oh,
Wasn't that
Rahm
Rahm
Emanuel.
Emanuel? Yeah, Rahm Emanuel said that never let a good crisis. Right out of the playbook. Well,
Yep.
unbelievable.
To date,
And
are
it's
there
not-
more people? Are there still more people dying of the flu to date? If you compare the numbers.
Well, I
anybody-
think the coronavirus is going to catch up here pretty quick.
Yeah.
They're talking right now in today's news conference. They're expecting between 100 and 200,000 deaths from the
Really?
coronavirus before they get it all put to bed. Yeah.
Right.
I wonder.
Now,
I don't.
keep in mind that, like I was saying on Thursday's show, 4.5 million people in this country die every year. Anyway,
Yep.
I told that to somebody, and they looked at me like I was crazy, like I was nuts. Where do you get those numbers? They said. Where do you get those numbers? I said, what do you mean? Where do I get those numbers? I said, you got 350 million people in this country, and if the average lifespan is say 80 years, 1/80th of those 350 million are going to die every year. So divide 350 million by 80, and that's how many people are going to die every year. And another 4.5 million are going to be born every year. So if all of a sudden we stopped having babies and there were no new humans, in 100 years there'd be no humans, except for maybe a couple of old grannies in a nursing home, but that'd be it for a few more years. So I said, what do you, I was arguing with this person. Well, that doesn't sound right to me. I said, what do you mean it doesn't sound right to you? I said, it's math, it's numbers. How can 4.5 million people die in this country every year? I said, how could they not die?
Yeah.
All over age.
About traffic. Yeah.
We'd have millions and millions of people that were 150 years old if they didn't die. And I said, you remember, the year 1900, the year 1900, 1901. Remember those years?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I remember.
I said, well, there's not a living human being on planet Earth that was alive in 1901.
Yep.
Not a single one. Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
They'd have to be 120 years old in order to be alive today. My grandfather was born in 1889.
Wow.
Every human that was alive on the planet Earth when he was on the planet Earth is not here now.
Mhm.
All new humans now. So it's
Mitch, you know what it is? It just hit me. You're right in every way, form, and numbers. Because I'm the same way. I'm a numbers guy. It just sounds cold. That's all. Maybe
yeah,
that's,
it does. It sounds cool, but my point was
it's a point well taken, and it's truth. But it just sounds a little cold.
my
Yeah.
point
You have to
was
say it with a
this.
little violin behind you. When you say it to
Well-
someone, that violin music. It might come out a little bit.
My point was, my point being, hold on a minute. Let's see what we got here. Here we go. Hold on.
Oh, John Travolta wants to know. John Travolta. Jerome Days wants asked Art about John Travolta. Yes, he's
Oh, I have that little.
yeah, Saturday Night Fever. It turned
Yeah.
out with Saturday Night Fever and staying alive. Staying alive.
All right.
Hey, Mitch, did
Here's
you
the
get
music.
that text I sent you?
I'm playing sad music, man.
Okay. All right, now tell us the numbers.
Okay.
Yeah, break it down by flu deaths,
Okay.
car accidents, gun
So what?
deaths.
What I'm saying is this sad enough music for you? Okay.
Perfect.
God, it's tearing me up, man. It's breaking me up. I can't talk. Oh God. Oh.
Virtual tissue. I give you my tissue, but I can't spare any.
What I was trying to say is, if we have 100,000 deaths from this flu this year, compared to the 4.5 million people that die every year, it's a very
Fraction.
small percentage of them. In fact, most of the people who died from the flu probably would have been among the 4.5 million anyway. But that's cold. See, wait a minute, I need this louder because I'm getting cold again.
There we go. Say it a little slower with some drama, some empathy, some feeling.
I mean, it's all about reality and putting things in perspective. And where we get in trouble is where we lose perspective on things and make things bigger and more important sounding than they really are. Wait a minute, here comes the finale.
All right, you okay back there?
Yes.
They want to
Okay.
give you a bigger hanky.
Wait a minute, that was very moving.
That was.
Very
You see, that
moving.
sounded a little bit more,
You know, I don't know why, but Ken really has fun with the sound effects that he has, and he's got his act together. He's got his act together on the sound effects. With with me, I have to think about which button to push and find it here and there. But it is
He's
fun.
probably got it well labeled.
Yeah.
Okay, here,
Yeah. Dennis Lovelady says, "Yay, 4.5 million people have left the building." No, it's not. It is sad. I mean, it's sad. Wait a minute.
You know what's the irony?
That's not sad. Hold on a minute.
The irony is that death is a part of life, and it just sucks. Sort of.
It's not a part of life. It's the end of life. But that's
No, but it's
anyway.
it's just the whole.
Go ahead, tell us about it, Carlos.
here's the number of deaths for leading causes of death. Heart disease, 647,000. Cancer, 600,000. Accidents, unintentional injuries, 170,000. Chronic lower respiratory diseases, 160,000. Stroke, 146,000. Alzheimer's, 121,000.
Who is that speaking?
3,000. Influenza and pneumonia, 55,000.
How many slipping in the bathtub? How many?
Well,
Slipping.
that's
Does that
Oh,
that
and
fall
then-
under accidents?
no. intentional harms like suicide, 47,000. So
when you
if
put
you
it all in,
compare influenza and pneumonia to heart disease, it's 1/10 of what heart disease causes. So when people are going all crazy about COVID-19, it's like, you know what? I bet you we're going to find out later that the numbers of people that have died from influenza, I would say, would be around 60 to 75,000. Then we'll find out that heart disease is 10 times as worse than influenza.
The
But
news
so
and
many
all
of
the
those-
reporting is going to have people with heart disease die sooner. That's what's going to happen.
well, and like I said, so many people that are dying from this were dying anyway.
Yeah.
This might have hurried it up a little bit, but I know it sounds cold, but
It is the truth.
we're in the process of completely changing this whole country, for even if it's just for a short period of time, and
Yep.
a lot of lives are going to be affected in a lot of different ways that the government can't help.
Right.
So we'll look back a year from now, and hopefully in a year they'll have a vaccine for this. And interestingly enough, next year, be interesting to see when the vaccine is available. If the same 50% of the people that don't take advantage of flu vaccines also don't take advantage of the COVID vaccine.
I'm thinking you take the flu shot, Mitch. How about you, Art?
I do every year, and not because I'm afraid of the flu so much as to get these people off of my back. I get hounded by Walgreens. I get hounded by the VA. I mean, every day an email: get your flu shot yet? Get your flu shot. It's free. It's free. It's free. Finally, break down. Go over to the Walgreens drugstore. Roll up my sleeve and say, "Hit me."
I'm going to start getting the flu shots.
I do.
Now that I turned 60, I'm kind of in that area where, okay, I got to take more precautions now that I'm getting up to those golden years. And so that's why
you get a cold once a year?
My PSA for the last 15 years I've been having that checked because my dad had prostate cancer.
Yeah.
And
that's the only number I care about when I go for my blood tests every year to VA. I walk in and when they get I say, "What's the PSA?" 3. I say, "Thank you. See you next year."
Yep.
Mitch, Art, do you guys catch colds regularly, like once a year? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't normally catch a cold, but I do get a little, like now, I got a little scratchy throat, and it comes from
yelling at the TV.
Just yelling and doing these live streams and talking. I've always been that way all my life. Yeah, I can overwork which means I talk too much, probably. Nature's way of telling me I got a big mouth.
Well, they say God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth, so you listen twice as much. That's why.
What?
Well, they gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth, so you can listen twice as much.
Huh?
I got that afterwards.
Okay.
What were you going to say, Art? You were going to say something.
Oh, I have allergy issues. So, and where I work, there's a lot of dust because we have a MIM department that's metal injection molding. And that, because they grind up that, what they do is after they injected the metal injection molding before they put it in the oven, all the screws, the parts where the waxy material, that gets all ground up again. And they have a grinder that's, it chops it all up to where it's almost like sand, really fine. And that gets kicked up and it probably goes through the ventilators throughout the building, and I'm breathing that stuff and I'm sneezing like crazy. I get runny noses. I get home and my nose clears up. And plus, if it gets really windy, we've got a lot of pine trees, and that kicks up the pine dust or pollen, and that aggravates me too.
That's no fun.
Hey, Art, do you see this? Rick Halber posted that he saw on a channel today some guy has the same house as you.
Oh yeah,
I've seen that one before too.
Must be
Popular.
popular. Must be.
Yeah.
Or unless you
Well,
got some
I think
relatives
it's-
listen with you.
it's part of StreamYard. That's where
Is that come? Oh, did you get that with
yeah,
StreamYard?
yeah. There's a couple where, like, when you see me do my show and I'm using StreamYards, I have a flag, and I brought that into StreamYard. And then the one with the Georgetown loop, the train behind.
Cool. I was thinking of something like
Oh,
some of
there you
these.
go.
I was thinking that maybe some of these could be
There you go.
something like that. There would be a nice backdrop for your. You get one that's all furnished.
I was thinking of an old library. They had the old
Oh, here's a
wooden
good one
shelf
here.
with all the old books and pictures of famous dead people.
That looks
Only
almost
famous
like
dead
yours
people
there.
I
Art.
like have numbers next to their pictures.
Some of these would be pretty nice, huh?
Oh
The
yeah, like that
backdrops,
one
yeah.
right there, the magnificent modern Miami mansion.
Yeah, yeah. Or how about this would be
Oh
like
yeah, there you go.
from the Munsters,
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, here this one's
Remember
this
that?
one's slick. This one's slick right here. Yeah, we're gonna have to do that, Art. Something like this. That one.
There you go.
Yeah, I wonder if we could get anybody to actually believe. Oh, here's one with a grand piano in it, Art.
There you go.
That's funny, isn't it? They got all kinds of these. Whoa, look at that.
Oh boy, I'm still getting roasted.
You know what? There's one thing that all these pictures have in common.
Oh, back up, back up. There was, oh, that one looks cool. There was another one there. Yeah, that one.
You know what these pictures have in common? They look nothing like my house.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, Art, we're going to have a contest to see who can have the nicest digs here over our next few shows.
Okay.
Oh man.
Let's see if this.
So we're down to about 8 guys, and I'm getting kind of tired.
All righty.
So I think I got enough time to go out there and have a nice evening cigar.
What time? Oh, it's on 9:40. All right.
Yeah, we'll end it early. I'm good on watch time.
I
And
put a video that you might like there next time.
oh, okay. Is it one of yours?
Yeah,
It is. Okay. hang
those are
on
the
a second.
cinematic ones that you like. Except it's
Hold
only
on.
with a Tynyhawk.
I gotta
It's a little-
I gotta go. All right, we'll play your video, and then
Call it a night.
we'll call it a night. Yeah.
There
I'm
you
sorry. I'm sorry we didn't get into all the technical stuff tonight, guys.
This is kind of a nice
Change of pace.
yeah, nice change
Yeah.
of pace. Yeah.
Let's see here. Where is my?
I don't know where.
And the music is YouTube friendly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all my music, everything I use is obviously I never get any copyright strikes on it, so nobody would get if they ever played one of my videos. Nobody would get a copyright strike.
Right.
All right, what do we got here?
Little Tynyhawk. Considering it's a little thing, pretty impressive. This is in Flushing Meadow Coronas Park, which was the site of a World's Fair in the 60s.
Oh.
And way back to your left is the towers where Will Smith did the
Yeah,
Men in Black.
I went to that World's Fair it was my high school senior class trip.
That's a cemetery.
1964.
Wow.
And we went to the World's Fair. That had is the big globe still there?
Yes, and those lakes are man-made, by the way. That's all man-made stuff.
But I remember that. I remember going to that World's Fair.
I was only a little 2-year-old punk by then. Anyway, isn't it cool what the Tinyhawk can do, considering it's just a little nothing of a
Now, this is a Tinyhawk 2?
2.0? Yeah.
Yeah, the one like I got. Yeah. Oh no, they're a lot of fun to fly, and it's more fun to fly when you're in a big open space like that too.
It's just a lot of fun.
Cool.
Get out of the car. You don't have to make noise. That's actually a AMA sanctioned flying field.
No
and
kidding.
It's
Really?
in between John F. Kennedy Airport and LaGuardia Airport. Right in
But
between.
it's far enough away though.
No, it's less than 5 air miles, but people still fly there all the time.
Well, that's because none of the air traffic goes over it.
Right. Anyway, that was it, Mitch.
That's cool.
It
Very
was
good.
fun.
Yeah,
Very
thanks
nice.
for that. Thank you for that.
Whee! Still using the
Well,
FXT goggles.
Well, they're good.
I'm
They're
old
good
school.
goggles. Well, guys, who else we got? Who we got left here? We got
Listen,
Dennis
stay
and
away
Rick
from the
Halber and
news.
Chris Hope. All the usual suspects are here. Drone Days is here. How you doing, Drone Days? Didn't get to say hello to you, and I think that's about it. And then the three of us. Ray Kelly,
more
I don't know if
news,
you're
guys.
still
No more
around,
news.
but says we got 6 people watching, and I looking at 3 of them right here. So
There we go.
anyway, guys, thanks.
Oh
Good
no.
night, Mitch.
Thanks
Good night,
for-
Art.
Thanks
Good
for
night,
coming in.
everybody.
And
Catch you
Rick,
on the
make
next
sure you let me Rick,
Yeah.
make sure you let me know next week if you're feeling up to getting your drone hooked up.
Okay.
I'm waiting for you to let me know. No, Rick Halber.
Oh,
Keep smiling. Adios, Mitch.
Okay, Carlos, take care. Yeah,
Uh,
Rick, let me know next week if you feel up to it. Send me an email a day or two before, and I'll get all set up, and we'll communicate with each other and figure out how we're gonna do that. And thanks for coming in tonight, Dennis.
All
Thanks
right,
for being here, man.
Yo,
Good having you.
it's-
Art, no Ken Heron tonight. What are you gonna do?
I don't know. I'll probably watch some more YouTube. I loaded the Microsoft puzzles, and I took one of my old photos or one of my recent photos and made it a puzzle.
Oh,
So
like
I'm
a jigsaw puzzle.
yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Mhm.
That's cool. Good.
All right. Well, take care.
All right, we'll see you next time, Art. Take care, buddy. Thanks for helping out.
All right.
And,
Bye-bye.
take
Good night,
care.
everybody in the chat.
And that just leaves me and the monkey as usual. And it's a strange show tonight, guys, but it was nice having you all in here and appreciate it. Hope we did something a little bit entertaining. So Jody, Dennis, Carlos, Rick, Chris, who else have I got? Drone Days. That's all up to the top of the list there. Thanks for coming in, guys. Always appreciate the support. And with that, I'll crank up my music. Just came to the end of the phone, and Carlos says to check my phone. So I don't see anything on my phone. So I don't know what that means, but maybe something will happen. Anyway, thanks for coming in, guys. And as usual, take the rest of the day off. Go play with your drones. I think I better do that tomorrow. Keep me from going crazy. And Jim, thanks for listening in, buddy. Happy editing to you. Probably see you on your live stream on Tuesday. with all that being said, guys, I'm going to turn it over to my trusty sidekick, Spank, the monkey. He's in the other room. And say goodnight to the people, Spank.